I am in the Philippines, if you don't know. So if we lose power, and that tends to happen sometimes, I will be back. It shouldn't happen because we have no storms tonight. You are in the Scale Your Agency class. We're probably about what, Jason's 6 weeks into it, something like that. And we're just, if you haven't went through the videos, you're kind of jumping right in. It's going to be kind of hard for you to follow somewhat, but we'll go from there. Give me 1 second. Pull up some of the. How many of you have actually went through the videos that are in the back end? Give me a 1 if you have, or if you have not. All right, so everything we go through when we have SOPs, I assign homework. The only way that this is going to help any of you is if you actually not only listen and learn and ask questions, but also if you implement it, because otherwise, it's not going to help you any. One of my premier, if you will, students, Jason, he's been with me. I've known him for 2 months. If you want to go to his channel, you can actually view him on his channel. He actually talks about it, in which he went and started, following me. And within his first, I believe, 2 weeks or less of implementing what I was teaching him, he made $15,000. And if you go through the videos, I go through everything step by step. I show you my story. If you choose to listen to me, why should you listen to me? What have I been through? Everything. So tonight we're going to be talking about Dream 100. So Dream 100 being, who is your ideal customer, right? Who is your ideal customer? Most people don't even know their ideal customer, because the reality is most people don't even know themselves, right? So for me, whenever I think of my ideal customer is myself. I'm dealing specifically with Google My Business or business owners, okay? And I've went over a lot of this in the courses and in the classes from the beginning, but one of which is, okay, what's their pleasure points? What's their pain points? Is it leads? Is it, are you waking up in the middle of the night thinking about all the bills you got to pay? Is it, most of the time people say, I want to be ranked in the top. With me, I want to be ranked in the top 3 at Google. That's really not their pain. Their pain has nothing to do with being ranked in the top 3 at Google. They think it has to do with being ranked in the top 3 at Google, but reality is I need more leads. I need not only just leads, but qualified leads, and leads that are high quality. Okay, that's another one, because there's a vast difference between high quality leads and just leads. In our other classes, if you haven't went through it, I go through where to find them once you've identified them, how to identify them. Because, for example, if I was a Catholic, would I go to a Baptist church? Probably not. I go to Catholic church. There are different places to find your ideal customer, and that's why you got to be able to identify them first, okay? Once you can identify them, and then you know where they're at, the next big one you're going to do, which this is where some people kind of get hung up on, is and I'll give you an actual example of where I was doing this, and I actually showed Jason this. Your ideal customer, think of this. If you were going to make a joint venture with somebody in SEO space, who would it be? If you are in the home improvement space, who's your ideal person you would want to make a joint venture with? Joint venture being partner up with, work with, be in cahoots with. So what it will do, once we upload this video in the back end, I'm going to upload the homework as well. A lot of what you'll hear me teach, reality is I learned it from people like Perry Belcher. I've learned it from Russell Brunson. I've learned it from, various people that come through direct marketing. Direct marketing, meaning I have an offer, I want to get a response. Okay, or direct response marketing, Jay Abraham, he's another really good one. So I'm going to go through this real quick with you. But for example, if you're thinking about your customer, you have a picture of what they look like, what their pains are, what their pleasures are, because most people, they are driven either by pleasure or by pain. In other words, I may stop eating as much, not because I don't like eating, but because my pants are getting too damn tight. True story. Or I may go the other opposite side and say, you know, I'm going to start eating a certain way because I want a six pack, not because I'm unhealthy. I just want a six pack. It might be something totally different. All right. So what are the top, these are some questions we're going to ask, and I want some responses if you could. As we're asking questions, we want responses, not just me sitting here talking for an hour. So, and feel free at any time to drop a question in the chat and I'll answer it. Okay. What are the top websites that you would say your dream customers are already going to? If you could name some of the top websites that your dream customers are already going to, what would they be? I give you some examples, and then y'all can drop in some examples in there. SEMrush, Ahrefs, MOZ. These are all related to, if you will, SEO. Matt Diggity, backlinks, you know, stuff like that. So YouTube, LinkedIn, perfect. LinkedIn is a great one. My boy Drew, he's not in here tonight, but he does LinkedIn outreach, and he's a master at that shit. YouTube, yep, Black Hat World, all of it. All right, think of this, and I'm going to show you how to find these things too. What forums or message boards do they participate in? Neil Patel, correct. I've actually had Neil Patel reach out to me. I've told Jason this one before too. So Reddit, Quora is another one too. If y'all don't know it, Quora, Answer, you know, any answer forum. You're funny, dude. What are some Facebook groups that they engage in or they congregate in? It's a beautiful thing about Facebook, and Drew has talked about this in another one of our classes, that LinkedIn groups as well, but Facebook groups where you can literally find on Facebook any group that you're wanting to find for home remodeling or Tampa, roofers, roofing marketing, all these different niches that you can find. Like Jason had posted earlier this week, the riches are in the niches. You know, you got to niche down. Okay. Next thing, and what you're going to do once I send this list, upload this list, you're going to take all of this and you're going to put it in you're going to have an Excel sheet that you'll have all this in, because I have it all laid out, and you're literally going to go through that Excel sheet and start filling in the blanks. Okay. Who are the influencers they follow on Facebook and Instagram? In other words, an influencer is someone that, let's say Craig Campbell. Craig Campbell's really an influencer. He does SEO, but he's more of an influencer than anything. An influencer being someone that talks a lot about a specific subject and speaks to a specific market. Okay. What podcast do they listen to? Does your ideal client or customer, do they listen to very specific podcasts? A podcast is being, instead of a YouTube video, it's just an audio. You know, you can get these on an Android device or on an iPhone device. Okay. What are the email newsletters they're subscribed to? There's some very specific reasons why you want to, let's say, their newsletter or what YouTube or what podcast, because you can also get advertising space on these for pretty cheap. Okay. And the reason why you want to do it is because if you can, there's two ways that you can, if you will, make a JV or tap into their audience. Like the reason I'd want to hook up with an influencer, get on, let's say, Neil Patel's newsletters, because his people are the exact people I want to reach. I can either try to work my way in, which I actually do both, work my way in, try to get Neil Patel to respond to my emails or messages or comments on YouTube, or some other hacks that I do is, and I'll mention this in another video, but basically it's called a super chat on YouTube. And when I get them to respond, then I can try to, hey, hopefully get on their podcast or the YouTube channel or on their newsletter. The other way is to buy your way in. In other words, find out how much does he want to be able to market to his newsletter or drop your information in there. And that can go anywhere from, $50 to thousands. All right. What blogs does your ideal customer read? What channels are they following on YouTube? What keywords are they searching for in Google to find information? Then I go through, name top 10 websites and forums they spend time on, right? Top 15 active, not just Facebook groups, but active Facebook groups they participate in. Name 50 influencers they follow in Facebook and Instagram. 30 podcasts they listen to, 40 email newsletters they subscribe to, 20 YouTube channels they subscribe to, right? You find the contact information of those people, right? And you can do a couple of things. I can send them my offer. I can send them my ebook. I can send them numerous things. Like I have, I don't just have one ebook. I have another one that's almost completely done. And then I got about 6 or 7 more that I'm having a ghostwriter write for me. We've already went over that. If you don't have an ebook, you need to get one. If you need someone to write it, reach out to me and I'll give you my boy out in South Africa, Busio, and he can write one up for you. And it's, let's say 10,000 words, it costs you 900 bucks. My ebooks made me more money than probably anything I've done. That's what really built me up. Jason's asked me this before. So one of the things I very first did, if you go through my video, I didn't have a full-blown website. I had a funnel, it had my ebook, and it had a free offer for my ebook or an audit. And that's what I built my business upon. All right. So, or if you have a physical book, even better, if you have a physical book, you can actually mail it to your influencer. And I'll go through some other things I've went through Jason and showed him that we've been doing. What network marketing companies are they in? What Facebook groups? What Instagram channels? What hashtags? Okay. I'm going to give you, this is something I got from one of the books I read. It's Traffic Secrets by Russell Brunson, and it literally has a spreadsheet. But I'm going to give you my own spreadsheet. Pretty much it's the same. It's a lot of the same questions, but mine is actually in a spreadsheet. So one of the things I'll do, I'd have to try to find one. Let me see if I can find a live. Whenever a channel, here's an example of working my way in, right? I go through and I find every channel that has to do with SEO. And I go, for example, might be Neil Patel, right? He goes live. Craig Campbell goes live. Any of these guys I like go live. There is a feature, you are going to want to look this up. It's called Super Chat. What is Super Chat? Super Chat, someone goes live and you always see that little chat bar on the right-hand side where you could say, hey, great information. Hey, Jason, what about Google My Business verifications? Or whatever question you may have, you can drop it. Well, another thing you can do, you can actually drop, let's say, a tip, $5, $10, $50, whatever you want to give. And what you do is when you drop that tip, it's called a super chat. Your name is now stuck up there in bold across the top. And mine is Google My Business SEO. And then sometimes what'll happen, and I've had Craig do this when I've done it, and I've done it to other people as well, I'll drop, $50, $20, $10, and then he'll go give me a shout out And now not only is my name up there, he's actually said, hey, Bill is a great guy over at Google My Business SEO. Y'all should go check out his channel. So officially, I've got him to speak about me to his channel, which is 70,000 something people, by just doing a little super chat. Okay. That's one way. And it's just basically, it's what some people deem as growth hacking. And it's one of the ways in which I've taken my little group of 500 people. My Facebook group was only 500 something people as of last September. And as of now, it's over 100,000. We did that in less than a year. So this is just one of the many ways that I've done it. Okay. It's not it's not the end all be all, but that's one of the many, many, many ways I've done it. And what you're going to do, I mean, for example, and I'm going to show you, I'll give you an actual example of one of the things I will do whenever I'm looking for, let's say I wanted to find out more about Craig Campbell, right? This is just what I do. Make sure y'all can see my screen. You see the YouTube screen, right? So what I'll literally do, I mean, because I watch these guys a lot anyway, but I'm just using Craig Campbell as, you know, as a example. You can use any of these. I'll go through and I'll watch his videos, and then I notice different things about him, especially if you watch a lot of his videos, you'll see that he wears jerseys a lot of times. When I say jerseys, I mean certain shirts. I know he's in Ireland. I know that he likes tattoos. I know he drinks. He likes a good beer, stuff like this, right? So I may, and I've shown Jason this, I may go, okay, he's in Glasgow restaurants. And I go and look for a restaurant gift card. And I'll mail him a gift card. Let's just use him as an example. And if I mail him a gift card, why am I trying to mail him a gift card? I'm trying to buy my way in. I know he's a big time influencer and I'm trying to buy my way in. You could do this with him. You could do it with, I have people that do it with me. I have clients like last week, and we had 2 clients that literally will send us thank you gifts and, hey, I want to buy all the boys. They bought Jollibee chicken, fried chickens, like Popeye's chicken in the States. And then the next day, someone else go, oh, I'm buy everybody pizza. So they buy all pizza, and they're just trying to work their way into favoritism with us. You know, sometimes it'd be like, you know, if I get you this, you'd build my website a little bit faster than everybody else, that sort of thing. But you could literally go, okay, Neil Patel, and you do the same thing on Neil Patel, and you watch him and you see things like, a lot of things that I will notice. For example, I'll literally go and stalk somebody and be like, what do I notice about him? These are his jerseys. He wears a lot, right? I see him wears these hats all the time. It takes a lot of research to sit here and do this. This is why I would put everything in a spreadsheet. He posts a lot of pictures with him and his boy, you know, and stuff like that. So I literally dig in, go look at their, you know, look at what does this influencer have? Maybe it's Neil Patel, you know. He's not got really a quote unquote personal, I mean, he's got one, but he's not nearly as active as Craig. But, you know, I go through and I look at what he's posting, what images is he posting, stuff like that. Try to get to know the person. Don't do what most marketers do. Come inbox. They message and they say come inbox, or they come to your inbox and say, hey, I'm an SEO expert. I would love to do your web design and blah, 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 blah. I actually try to give value, try to work, almost like becoming someone's friend. Like here's one in which I did this. This is this guy right here, Kirk Rowland. He's actually the top SEO in the Philippines. I've been following him for about 2 years. I've been messaging him, talking to him a little bit here, a little bit there. Me and him we're talking about doing a mastermind in the Philippines for Filipino people. and bringing Craig in and Chris Palmer and a couple other guys. And this week I'll finally, after a year of working on them, be able to, do a live with him on his channel. So that's why you're going to want to take all that. You're going to put it in a spreadsheet, because you're going to have to take all of it, put it in a spreadsheet. Craig Campbell, find out what he likes. And this is where a lot of times you have to wind up getting a VA. So here's another one. This guy right here that's with Craig, he has a major YouTube channel that's on this SEO, right? And I'll show you real quick. Go through here. So this guy is actually in the States, I believe, but it's Paul Andre de Vera. So Paul Andre de Vera, I've actually reached out to repetitively trying to get on his channel. You want to know how I got on his channel? I went through the last time I did the super chat. I did it on Craig Campbell's show. He was in there watching Craig Campbell. He saw me do the super chat, and then I said, "Hey, Paul, how are you?" And he said, "Great." And he responded to me, "Great, Bill." And then I said, "Would love to be on your show." And he messaged me back on Facebook and then booked that day, that time while Craig was live. That's how I got on the dude's show. And I had asked him before, and nothing ever came of it. And, it was like, what do I got to do? This guy, if you've ever seen his show, I'm trying to find him. Here he is. SEO video show. He's only got 2,000 something subscribers, you would say, but the guy, if you actually look at his reach, his videos and stuff, he's one of the big players in SEO, especially when it comes to YouTube and who he winds up interviewing. And his shows are always like, he's got it dialed in. Me and Jason talk about this a lot. He's got all the bells and whistles, and it's really, if you will, beautiful shows, slideshows, the whole thing. But how I got involved in him was the super chat. If you go over here to live, while this chat over here is going on, if it was going on live, you'd be able to do a super chat. So I'm going to try to find, let me see if I can find anybody live right now. Just to show you all some examples of way in which we do this, but so live right now. Let's say it was this guy, right? If they have super chat enabled, you'd see it right over here, right? Normally, if you do super chat, you have all this right here. But a super chat actually says super chat or super sticker, and another growth hack is actually finding channels where instead of just having, let's say, 2,000, 10,000, find someone like Ruan that has 104,000 followers, or Craig Campbell, and do when he's the super chat, you actually drop the super chat on them. You got people in here, it's like this guy, find her, depending on how many viewers they have or however many subscribers they have, I would do it with them as well. And most of the time they're going to go, hey, they'll mention you by name and give you a shout out. And they just effectively, you just got a name drop to however many thousands of, people they have on their show. But that's the research I'll sit there and do. And then I had another one recently. She's probably going to be coming in and doing the VA course with me, because I'm having a virtual assistant course. I've been working on this girl for about a year now. And I finally met up with her and talked with her, I believe, 4 days ago, last Friday, Thursday, Friday. And as soon as she's done doing her bodybuilding contest thing, we're going to be doing it together. Mindset. We were talking about this earlier. Who do you think my number one person is? Mindset. It's right here on very front of this screen. Eric Thomas. You ever need anybody to listen to, get your ass in gear? This is the man. He's an actual coach, right? And he's one of the guys I listen to, and he's like a no excuses, no BS. They call him the hip hop preacher. So if y'all need someone to listen to, you know, to quote unquote motivate you, this is the guy I recommend. I recommend ET, Eric Thomas, ET, and this ET, the hip hop preacher. He's one of the guys I listen to almost on a daily basis. You know, I was just listening to this best of the best, you know, and he's on point every time you hear him. He talks about, you know, not having excuses, how to have a dream. You know, if you're tired, get over it. You know, there's all types of things. The guy's just really, really good, especially if you're looking for motivation, because a lot of people will ask me, Jason asks me this all the time, how do I get so much energy to do what I do? Because there are times I'm running 3 classes at a time. Plus I run my agency. We have, you know, close to 1,000 clients right now. By the first official year we're done with this, we'll have over 3,000. So, you know, and how do you do it? How do you find the quote unquote motivation, the energy, the drive to do any of it? So a lot of times you don't. And then you have to get on and listen to someone like him, and he motivates you. So that's the other one. So if we go through all this, this is where you have to dig into your research. I have people all the time ask me, you know, well, how do you organize all your research? How I organize my research is Excel sheets. Jason was just giving out some gold about ranking rent prior to us recording, and he's using Google Sheets. You know, and how do you organize everything? Google Sheets. It's constantly going to be Google Sheets. Let me see if we got some questions over here. Reddit, Quora. You know, I go into this as well into the previous classes. How to find your ideal client. Once you find them, what do? I go in. And how I built my agency was I literally took 4 to 5 hours a day, 7 days a week, 35 hours, you know, minimum 35 to 40 hours a week. I was putting in, going into my Facebook groups where I was looking in different SEO communities and answering questions, not saying, hey, come inbox, hey, PM me, hey, DM me, none of that bullshit. Hey, get my newsletter, none of that crap. Okay. I was going in there and saying, if they had a question about Google My Business verification, or how do I get higher up in the SERPs, I'd answer the question. And now you don't even have to do that. You use Conversion AI, which I've went over before, to answer questions. I can go into Quora, do the same thing. Reddit, do the same thing. You know, go in, you want to find out what people's questions are in a specific subject, spend time in those forums, spend time on YouTube. Go into YouTube, see what people are commenting about. Then that shows you exactly what you should be writing and information about. Give me 1 second. That is interesting, William, about your ebook. Yeah, my ebook. I've constantly rewrote my ebook. I have another one on CTR manipulation. It's 10,000 words. It's almost done. And then I'm going to be dropping about 10 more ebooks as well. And I use those and I teach it in the other classes. You need something that you can give away to people to collect leads. If you go to my Facebook profile, I go over, if you see it, you see it very, very clearly why I say to do this. Like, you optimize your profile. Profile is built towards, if someone clicks on my shit, what does it go to? Linktree. What am I trying to get them to? Become a GMB Pro. Do they want to schedule an SEO audit? They want to interview me on YouTube. They want the Google My Business Toolkit. I give this away for free too, right? Do they want to join the master class? So I'm constantly pushing them to my offers. So the reason I go into groups and comment, because people are curious by nature. And if you're in a group and you comment on something, let's say in my group even, you know, someone's going to go, well, who's this Matt dude? And they're going to click on his profile. Let's say he answered a question and he has his profile optimized towards dental and medical clinics. If I click on this, sad part is he's got all this information here, which is kind of, you know, to me, I would never do that. I don't put all that information. It's too much. You know, I help dental clinics get more leads. Here's my link. Click on that bitch. They click on it instead of having to read all this and go below the fold to even see it. Then I also put my link here. If I go, let's say, look at his main profile, see if he's, yep, see like this, book a call. I just picked him out randomly. This is pretty rare that someone has it. Click a meeting. You pick a meeting. The one thing I would do different if I was him is I would actually make people to pay to talk to me. You know, I used to not do that, but people have to pay anymore if they want to talk. Your profile, though, should not be filled with all this, you know, personal just garbage, really. If you're going to optimize your profile the way I teach in this masterclass, you need to put business information here. He's putting stuff about conspiracy theorists and COVID and, you know, politics. And most people, as soon as I see this, I'm going to go, yeah, that's just not for me. I hear enough of it. I don't want to hear it from somebody else. But then you go to someone like me and they're like, oh, okay, this guy does Google My Business, and they see all this, and then they see, you know, all this other information. It's all about motivation, business questions, you know, me and Chris Palmer, and this is my team and stuff like that, you know. So they know I mean business. I'm not playing, you know, so I do some personal stuff, but it's not nearly as much as most people. So that's why I teach in the earlier classes to do that. Wednesdays, I usually have Kevin in here on Wednesdays for the new people. Wednesdays is basically going to be Kevin teaches how to use IVR and the tools that I push and promote and I use for my own call center, okay, to get leads, etc. So let's go through some of these questions here. Great tips, William. How do you know who are the top influencers of SEO? It's real simple. I don't mean to sound sarcastic when I say this, but I am. There's this little thing called google.com. And I type in simple little question like top SEOs, top SEO forums, top SEO podcasts, top business podcasts, top roofing marketing podcasts. And it tells me exactly, you'll get these, you'll literally get, I'll show you, say top SEO in the world. Right? I type in top SEOs in the world. I may not agree with it, but this is what they tell you. Rand Fishkin, Brian Dean, Neil Patel, Matt Cutts, Joe Steedvalk, Danny Sullivan, and go on and so on and so forth. Let's say you could pick almost any industry, and this is what they're going to tell you. Search Engine Journal. How I also do it, one of the things I've done, I'm in the SEO Mastery Summit, right? And I find out who are all the speakers of the SEO Mastery Summit, and I literally message and outreach every one of them, say, hey, I want to interview you. Almost every time they say, yes, I would love to do an interview. I've barely ever had anybody said, no, I don't want an interview, okay? All right, let's see. Dylan's, he's a beast. Ed Millett and Andy Frisella is awesome. Both of those I follow. I tend to listen to people that are like no BS. You know, it's like why I like ET is he's like, you know, one of the things he talks about, he says, you're tired, he's good, keep going. You know, then you got Andy, you know, you have a, you know, not for the ladies, but you have a bitch voice and the boss voice. Which one are you gonna listen to? You know, very, very straight, no BS. Williams crazy. Errol Francis. Hey Errol, how you doing, buddy? Jason, 3 courses. I was doing, and the maximum I've done 3, which is 1 in the morning, 1 in the afternoon, 1 in the evening. Dylan, do you use your ebook method with Chirply? No, I do not. When I'm doing Chirply, I'm actually doing a website offer. I find people that don't have websites. That's one way. I drop an IVR. Then when they go hit 1, they go to the call center. Not me, because I ain't got time for that BS. Call center sells them. They fill out the onboarding form, take the money. The only thing I got to do is onboard them and take the money and build out the site. Once I build out the site, I give 1 free month of SEO to them. Once they get that 1 free month of SEO, they're hooked. It's like giving a crack addict just a little taste, and then once they have it, they're stuck. Use this Chris Haplin. So would you create a new Facebook profile to start your agency? I would honestly either, we talk about this in another class, buy an age Facebook profile. Because if you create a brand new one, it's really hard to gain trust by Facebook. You used to be able to do it, no problems. Now you need to buy them and warm them up. I would not necessarily use my current Facebook profile because they can get banned and can get banned very fast if you don't do it correctly. And you don't want, you know, your personal Facebook profile to go get shut down, and then, you know, you can't talk to anybody. I have actually had about 12 accounts banned, and it's always because I have at least a dozen or more SEOs that just absolutely do not like me, for whatever reason. You know, and they all got to do is hit the top 3 buttons and report anything and everything you ever post as spam, even if it's not spam. And eventually Facebook gets enough of it, they go take it down, and then I have to restart a new one, start a new one. I've been through this process about 12 times. That's why I can advise you on what to do, what not to do. Let's see. Patrick, I mean, how do you find out who's the top SEO people are on YouTube? So I go by, if I go to YouTube, I literally top in, like if my niche is Google My Business or local SEO, whoever's in the top, you know, the top page, that's who I go after. You know, but it's also a good way to have, you know, people hate you and make videos about you and call you a fraud and a scam and everything else, which I have had done, because you beat them and they can't stand it, especially if you're doing YouTube SEO. So just be prepared for haters. Everybody's going to have them. They're going to drive traffic to you. They're going to talk about you. If you're going to be on YouTube, especially, just be prepared for it. I've already told Jason that as soon as you go to start a channel and you start doing big things, just be ready for people to start running their mouth about you. It's kind of like, you ever had that situation? I've been divorced. Everybody wants to tell you, you know, after you've been through your divorce, oh, I saw this coming all along. I saw it a mile away. Yet the whole time their mouth was shut. You know, and this is what happens in YouTube. Whole time, soon as you go to do YouTube, what's going to happen? You're helping people. All of a sudden, everybody becomes an expert. Everybody wants to tell you why you're wrong. But where have they been the whole damn time? They haven't had a video out. They ain't talking about nothing. Ain't helping nobody. Now suddenly they're experts. Okay, so just get used to it. I want to go for the top channels with the most subscribers. You know, the biggest subscribers, even if I don't like them. Like for one, he's Zanet. Craig Campbell, I love. He's great. Chris Palmer, he's great, but they're not the biggest channels. The biggest channels, if you go to, let's say, local SEO, is Hrefs, Wes McDowell, Neil Patel, Ranking Academy. stuff like that. So Stuart Gold, he's got, for example, Stuart Gold, he's got 73,000 subscribers. Hrefs or Neil Patel, of course, he's got 953,000 subscribers, almost a million subscribers. It's ridiculous. Hrefs has 260K followers. Imagine that. Neil Patel whoops them hands down. So that's one we'll look for. Let's see. Vidic is good as well. Tube Daddy's another one, or YouTube Buddy. Patrick, I've actually already done that. Go through the other classes. How do you take an age profile and change the name to your name, etc. I literally list out in one of the classes. I literally list out in homework exactly how to warm up an aged account and what to do and what not to do, and give you the rules and everything to follow. SEO onboarding form. If you go to rankfortress.com, DL, go to rankfortress.com, top right-hand side, it says support. Submit a support ticket to me, and then I'll send you my onboarding form for SEO and web design. I give all that away. So, Errol, do you use the same name for the new Facebook profile? I try to. I do. I try to. But I have so many, like I said, with me, I can't get away with it. Other people, yes. Technically, according to their terms of service, you are not supposed to have more than one personal Facebook account. You are supposed to use your legal name. And when they go to ask you to do a photo identification or video identification, they're going to ask you for a photo ID and all types of shit. So you better use your personal, name. Don't call it Willy Wonka or Willie the SEO guru or whatever. I don't even care anymore because quite honestly, I have Kevin's tools. I can take a aged Facebook, warm it up, and then I just use Kevin's tools to rebuild it. The one that really upset me, I got my account to basically 5,000 followers, and then I lost it. And then that one was when I started really getting a lot of hate from a lot of people and just coming after me. And this is honestly, that's what pushed me more to Black Hat SEO, because I got tired of certain people doing certain things. So, because I teach, if you don't already know it, I teach Black Hat. By any means necessary is what I believe in. I don't necessarily believe in following all the, if you will, rules. Thanks for the heads up about YouTube haters. I mean, you get them to, one thing is I don't worry about all those stupid thumbs downs, because what they don't realize is that's actually engagement. Even if it's negative, it's engagement. And YouTube looks at that and goes, well, this video is getting engagement. Like one of my rap videos that I came out with has like 700 comments or 700 likes and 20 something dislikes. I don't really give a shit. I got 700 likes. So, and if you haven't seen that one, that one's on my YouTube channel, and it is about, certain things or SEO, the SEO industry, in specific. It's the one with anonymous face masks. So let's see, where the top 3 most bang for your buck things you can give in a free month of SEO web design client that gets them hooked right away so that they see results. The ones that most of them are going to stick to, if I was to take anything, page speed, reviews, and GMB posts, or even better, a YouTube stack. If I could take a YouTube stack, I can get someone ranked in like 12 minutes. I can get stuff on YouTube done in 5 minutes. I'll show you one in which I did. I showed James this, so he already has seen it. Let's see here. Oh, I have to find it, but basically in 5 minutes you can get it done. Jason's seen this thing over and over again, but basically you can get things that are on Google. You know, when you do a video like that and get it ranked, people are like, oh shit, this guy knows what the hell he's talking about. You understand what I'm saying? Giving it, for instance, William Jones SEO review. And if you look at it, number one, that took me 12 minutes to do it when I did it. $12 when I did it. That's why I was looking for the screenshot. Most of the videos that I've ever done takes me probably, you know, less than a day to get it ranked on the first page, and it takes me less than 3 days to get it ranked to be dominating to dominate. The other one will be GMB post because they can physically see it. Another one will be a press release that's featured in Fox, CNN, and the other ones that I use with Signal Genesis. Okay. You're welcome, Patrick. Please teach us how you use ActiveCampaign for emails. I'll have to do that on another program. But one of the things I do, I have about a 60,000 subscriber email list, which I scraped from, be quite honest, all the Facebook groups that are in SEO. And it's another way in which I got tired of people pushing me to fuck around. And I scraped all their groups, and then I build up my group based off of that information. Zucks the lizard man. Black cat is life. I don't even, and Jason is, I don't believe in black. I don't think there is such a thing as black cat. I believe black cat's what people that call the winners. The losers call the winners, at least. Which tools of Kevin do I use to build up an age Facebook profile? So friend connector, that'd be one. Post scheduler, that'd be another one. I'd get all of his tools if it's me. Personally, that's just me. But start with those. I have all of them. I use all of them. It's a good tool that you can have the VAs use as well, your virtual assistant, because I can give my virtual assistant an account. I could give them a video SOP and show them exactly how to do it, and they can do it for me. And you can buy the age profiles. I go over all that in the back end of the group. It's at FBACC. It's at FBACCS.com. Okay. Money Robot links to YouTube video and press releases. Yeah, that's another one. What Chris talked about the other day, backlinks to a YouTube video itself is not going to help you as much, but doing a video embed on let's say a backlink or wherever you want to put it on a video sharing platform, a video embed, and then doing backlinks to that video embed, that's a game changer. And then on top of it, sending traffic to that video embed. And that's how I do certain things. I'm not giving out all the details, but where to buy the YouTube stacks. I have the YouTube stacks for sale on my website at rankfortress.com. Go under SEO services and you can buy them there. My YouTube stack is $175 on sale. That means I go in, I set up a YouTube channel for you, completely optimize it, and then I also create one video with my whole layout and template of how I set up a video. That way you can always duplicate it later if you wanted to make another video, Carol. Easy. So Patrick, I'll explain it very briefly. You get an age domain name, you're not going to change jack diddly shit when you first get it. You got to change things a little bit at a time, a little bit at a time. Add a post, join one group, like a page, add a friend here and there, and think of it like gardening. You're not going to come in there and just go, hey guys, pulling the backhoe. Come on. It's not going to work that way. It's a good way to get your Facebook account shut down. So you got to go in there and guard and change things a little at a time. Okay. See you later, Jason. Jason's got his class upcoming. So you change it over time. You don't do it as soon as you get in there. That's what a lot of people do, and they get it taken down. You will change it, but it will be over time. And I do go over that in one of the earlier classes. So, and I give you the rules of engagement if you're going to be changing things on your Facebook profile, etc. How many videos are on the YouTube stack? One. I'm giving you one. I'm literally setting up the entire channel for you, optimizing the entire channel, setting up one video so you have a template base so you can base everything you do in the future off of that template. Also for YouTube videos, you just make videos for the local business. Yes, I make the video. I use Wave Video Maker to make them. I optimize them, and then once I optimize them, the next thing I do after I make that video is I embed that same blog. So step one, write a blog, put it on the website. Step two, YouTube video of that same blog, right? Step three, take that video, embed it on that blog. Step four, go make a press release of that same blog using Signal Genesis, which we teach about in Reloaded. Once I make that press release, I embed the video and I hyperlink it back to my blog and I hyperlink it to the YouTube stack. And then I also do some GMB posts or hyperlink embeds. There's a bunch of steps I do, and we go over this in the Reloaded class. So I use Patrick in regards to Local Viking. I went to using what I used prior to Local Viking. I went back to just using my VAs, my staff. I don't use any automation when it comes to GMB posts. And that's the very reason of everything that happened with Local Viking is the reason I wasn't using Local Viking to begin with. And I had someone talk me into using Local Viking, and then I should have never done it when they went down and had issues with API. Drop any more questions you have in here, guys. You got about 9 more minutes. We're going to get off here. So two plugins. The plugins were essentially I had WordPress Amplify. WordPress Amplify is Bradley Bennett's plugin. Bought that from him, unlimited resell. And then the next one would have been the location page plugin. I created that one. We came out with that one. That's connected to the API as well. And then, so then the schema plugin, we did advanced schema, and then we've done advanced schema for such a long time that it's like, for instance, most of the stuff I come up with is because we've been doing it for such a long time with our own clients that I go, hey, I want something that will automate the process. And then, from that is birthed when I came out the advanced schema and location page plugin. Okay. Justin, is it better to use a service area page on one website or a different website for different service areas? Personally, I do different websites for different service areas. That's just me. Currently, Patrick, no, I'm not doing any training on that plugin. I got too many other things I'm trying to focus on besides that plugin. Email me at im@rankfortress.com, im@rankfortress.com for any of my SOPs or anything. That link that you tried to send over, by the way, I can't open it. So, Justin. So it's not allowing to download it. Let's see. Financial niche. Purchase a domain that's the city plus financial advisor. He wants this built out and redirected to his money site. If you can, email me. Okay. It's not opening. I won't say Justin, it's just not opening. See you, Graham. Have a good one. And I will see everybody tonight, East Coast time. Google My Business Reloaded. Google My Business Reloaded. That will be tonight, 8 p.m. If you have any questions, just drop them at im@rankfortress.com. Or if you have any support needs, go to rankfortress.com. Right-hand side is support. You drop in a support ticket to me and I'll get to it as soon as possible. This video will be uploaded later on today, along with the homework and everything else. I appreciate you guys. Y'all guys have a great day or great evening and you be blessed.